Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I am Lauren-Blair Donovan, and this is Hardy Har Har, where I sometimes talk about the challenge. Haven't for a minute. We're gonna get back to that in a hot second. I want to talk about Challenge 41 because it's coming up and I have thoughts. But yes, okay, so real fast, quick, channel update. Part of why I haven't been around is my health. We'll get to that in a second. But the other part of it too is that, yeah, I've been in clip nightmare hell. Basically, the next season up is Gauntlet 3. I think it's maybe one of the most pivotal, if not one of the most iconic seasons of the entire challenge. It's why I wanted to jump ahead and tackle it. I filmed it like a year ago. It's ridiculous. And then I had trouble getting the clips. I thought I had a source. It fell through. Thought I had a source. It was complicated. Eventually came through. And then now it's all edited and YouTube keeps copyright dinging me no matter how much I reverse the footage, speed up the audio, crop things and put them on backgrounds. Like, I am running out of tricks to try. I don't know what I'm gonna do. In theory, it's coming out soon. I haven't forgotten. My health has improved a lot. Hence, this channel is more rocking and rolling now. I also go to cemeteries. I have a new show all about plant medicine. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That's a little bit about getting, the opposite of low. But it's also about healing. I've had some pretty major health issues. That's part of why I've been so in and out. The good news is I'm doing a lot better and more stuff is debuting really soon. I'm excited to be back in the mix. So I super appreciate your patience. I appreciate you following. I appreciate any engagement you give me. Like, for real. Thank you so much. It's been such a struggle the past couple years. It feels great to be back. And I think I'm back for real. So, knock on all the wood. Anyway, I have a lot of thoughts though on season 41, and I still relatively consistently talk about the challenge on TikTok. And I figured since Gauntlet 3 I thought was going to debut like a month ago, I'd at least kind of regurgitate that if you're not on TikTok, and we can talk about the challenge here. So please let me know your thoughts on season 41, which I think is like another fresh meat season coming up. Vets versus new threats, just rebranded. That's just me, but I talk about that a little bit at the end. But I'm curious to know your thoughts, whether you agree or disagree. Please give me a subscribe if you haven't already, because in theory, challenge stuff is coming up soon. It's already edited, guys. I just got to keep tweaking it. Plus, I have other fun stuff on here, and I'm really only just getting started. So please and thanks. And without further ado, here are my personal thoughts about season 41 and all the casts that I know of, at least, coming up. Seriously, it's fresh meat. I don't know half the cast. I don't know her, Good lordy. The challenge is gonna be in its 41st season. We gotta talk about the cast. Honestly, I'm a little indifferent. This is the first casting in a while where I'm like, I have some notes. I really do. You don't know me, I'm Lauren-Blair Donovan. I'm a lifelong challenge fan, so I like to talk about it here on the TikTok with y'all. So if you're into that, please give me a follow. It appears this season is gonna be vets versus new threats, which is like a choice. It's like, weren't they just called rookies or challengers, or I hate to put it this way, but like losers? I mean, I don't think they ever said that, but like, okay, we get it. New threats, haven't won yet, they're new. And honestly, I looked through it and I don't think I know people in it. So we're not going to be covering them because I have nothing to say on them. And also, MTV, did we learn nothing from season 39? Okay, but without further ado, let's talk about who's going to be in this season that we actually know. Part 1. The only thing I like about this photo is he was really dedicated to running. I do like these action shots. It's kind of better than like the school yearbook portraits we've been doing lately. Like, I appreciate an action shot. Do I love that Johnny is going to be on this season? No, I've been sick of him since like his second season. There, I said it. I'm not usually aggro, but I don't like a lot of his behaviors as of late. And frankly, I don't think I've ever co-signed on a lot of his behaviors. So I could use a break from the Banana Man. I really could, but let me know what you think, because I know he's polarizing. People love him or they hate him. Of course, we got Nani. Honestly, I'm a big Nani fan. I am. And I am pulling for her to win. I don't know. I just feel like we've seen a lot of her lately. I wouldn't have mind seeing, not like a new face, but a face we haven't seen as recently as All Stars 5. I feel like there's a lot of repeats, a lot of people that they could have cast. So I'm rooting for Nani. I am. I'm not a Nani hater, but I'm just indifferent. I'm just indifferent. Like I said, I'm just not sure how I feel about this season going in. Honestly, same difference a little bit with Leroy. I like Leroy. I want him to win. My heart's not made of stone. I would love it if like him and Nany were a team and they won together. How cute would that be? They're from their original season, Las Vegas, the second one, Real World, and they both are these challenge icons that have never won. We saw him on 40, we saw him on All Stars 4. There's a lot of repeats in this cast. It is what it is. All right, if you watched part 1 of my casting video, and if you didn't, go back and watch, but like I was very like, I don't know, I'm kind of sick of some of these people. I like them, I do, I just want to break. And you'd think I'd say the same thing about Anissa, but I'm not going to. I love Anissa. I never get sick of Anissa. I think she's such an interesting cast member. I think she's been consistently interesting. Whether you love her, whether you love to hate her, she has brought good television. You know what I mean? So I'm always tickled when Anissa is on our screen, and I know she's been working really hard to get into better shape, and I don't know, I just feel like if not this season, a very soon future season, she's gonna come back better than ever, and I'm rooting for her to get that W. I really am. Let me know what you think. CT's another one where you would think I'd be like all sick of him, but like Anissa, I just think he's like such an iconic challenge member. And again, love him, love to hate him, wherever you fall. Good television, real good television. No notes. Plus, I could use some more CT pro tips, you know? Like, I would take him over Bananas any day, but I wasn't given that choice, and they're giving us both, so it's a moot point. However, it does seem like CT's been going through a time, and I'm always really nervous when people go on television in the reality TV capacity where they're, I don't know if it's always their most authentic self, to be fair, but like more or less a version of themselves is out there and maybe isn't going to be doing so hot in a challenge house. I don't remember when this was filmed in relation to some of the stuff that may or may not has been going on in his personal life, but he's been on such a good trajectory. I hope that stays that way, I guess is all I'm going to say. I'm a little concerned. It's like breaking my brain that Olivia is called Yvette. And I like Olivia. I actually really like Olivia, so I'm happy to see her. We've seen her a lot lately. Yeah, fair, but she's like a newer, in the grand scheme of things, cast member, so I'm not quite as sick of her. It's always going to be Coral. It's always going to be Mark Long. Those are my vets. People from not Buena Murray properties, or not MTV ones at least, because I don't know how far Buena Murray reaches, honestly, but like they're never like, it's always going to break my brain to see Vet with their name, no matter how amazing they do in the challenge or how many seasons they do. It just, I'm slow. I gotta catch up, you know? We already covered Olivia, and we got Olivia's, I think still to this day, boyfriend Theo, which is adorable. I'm not above human interest stories, and the challenge always needs a good romance. I feel like I'm not as invested in them as a couple, which is interesting because I do like the both of them a lot. Maybe I just didn't get to see enough of them on 40 because there was so much going on with 40. Like, I don't even remember 40. There was so much going on. It was like the longest season ever. It lasted 18,000 years. There's 40 million cast members. It was a lot. So maybe I just haven't processed it, but I am excited to see Theo back because we lost him for a while. He was one of the good ones that came out of, you know, what I think were some of the more, I just wasn't as into the Era 4 seasons for the most part. There's some good ones, but I wasn't as into it, but he always stood out to me, so I'm happy to see Theo back. I like Cara. I do. Mostly. It's interesting, though. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. Cara Maria has had a lot of iterations. I think she's so important to the show. I'm never going to take that away from her. And even though I'm not really a fan of her, like, haters, if you will, like, I don't really care for Johnny Bananas, and I used to be able to defend Laurel, but that kind of went out a lot of windows last season. There's still space for a lot to be true, and I just, you know, a lot of these past casting videos I've been talking about being kind of sick of people, just because I want to see some of the other faces we love, and I think best case scenario, Cara is also falling into that. But also, I don't know, lately I've just found her a little harder to take with some of her choices and takes on things, and as much as I think that she has had a lot of unnecessary bullying, I do think sometimes she inserts herself into situations that cause drama. Maybe she doesn't know it. I don't think she's doing it on purpose. Sometimes we just have blind spots, but I'm kind of sick of watching it play out. So I hope this is not a drama-filled season with Cara, you know? Like, seems like a tall order, but yeah. What's not to love about Derek? I'm never sick of Derek, ever. I'm glad he's going to be back on our screens. He left, I think, too early in 40, plus he was injured. I just want to see him do good. You know what I mean? Like, I love Derek. He's a good boy. Let's root for him. He'll be a breath of fresh air this season, for me at least, but you let me know what you feel. All right, so we have Aviv back, which is wild, because honestly, you know, she was one of those cast members that you thought were one and done, just because that's what it was until it wasn't, and then roughly 80,000 years passed, and she came back for, like, Challenge 40, and now she's back for 41, and I think she seems like a really good egg, like, just good energy, and she's clearly a beast, so I'm not mad at it. I just am forever a little confused by her friendship with Johnny Bananas, and I'm just not looking forward to that alliance. I'm just gonna put that out there. No thanks. Yay, it's our dark horse, Derek. I love Derek. I love him so much. All Stars made me realize how blind I was, that he was always this diamond in the rough. He just kind of got a raw deal. Usually I'm good at picking up with which cast members are like could shine, and for whatever the reasons, it's just not going to go in their favor through no fault of their own. I was sleeping on Derek, and when I'm wrong, and I'll admit it. So I am rooting for him, maybe the most, actually, out of this season. I want Derek to win, because he's formidable, and he seems like a nice dude, and he's fun and entertaining. Like, I don't love it when challenge members are aggro, and he's not aggro, and I appreciate that. So let's go, Derek. Y'all, I have a question. Who is this? I know I sound like not a good challenge commentator right now. And I know I have some memory issues, and I know a lot of cast members only did like one season in like era 4, and like I didn't watch all those seasons in real time, and some of them I've only seen once, so they're not as burned into my brain even without memory issues. But like, no, really, who is this? She from Challenge USA? Because I've only seen clips. Who is this? Am I Mandela affecting? Like, I don't know who this is. Someone explain it to me. Who is this? And we got the return of Rogan. Speaking of era 4. You know, D is no peach, okay? We know about D now, but I still don't like the way he treated D. It was just bro-y and like, F-boy, and just, I was never impressed with Rogan. So, like, I'll give him the old open mind. It's been a few years. Maybe he's changed and evolved, but he still seems kind of a bit much with the way he's posing. I don't know. He can go home first. It's fine. I love Naya. She's one of my favorite All-Stars revival people, if you will. I genuinely believe her growth journey kind of takes one to know one. I've had a growth journey, believe it or not. I used to be actually a little aggro myself when I was a younger human. And I love that Naya's evolved and seems to be very self-possessed and happy and just has better tools to go through life. And I think she's also a pretty good challenger. So I'm excited to see her journey continue, and I hope she does well. Woo! Speaking of aggro, we got Turbo. Is anyone else just deeply uncomfortable at this man in general? I don't like to be too much, negativity kind of stuff. So I don't know these people, even though sometimes, I have some hot takes, but like, he scares me. I just don't find it good television. I'm glad Nani forgave him. That's cool, I guess. Good for them. She knows him better than I do, but like, what do you guys think about Turbo? What do you guys think? Honestly, I'm actually kind of excited to have Ashley back. I didn't love her in the beginning when I first was introduced to her. She's kind of grown on me a little bit. I think she's entertaining. I think she's obviously a good challenger. I was sad to see her go home early on All Stars 5. I lied, 5. Rivals, not just because she was attached to Anissa, who I love, but I just felt like we just didn't get to see a lot about her until she was fighting with Anissa and then going home. So even though she was on our screens recently, I'm not actually sick of her because we didn't get a lot of her, and I'm kind of curious about how she's growing and evolving, and she does make for good television. So I'm not mad at her coming back, but what do you guys think? She's definitely a polarizing figure for sure. Okay, let's talk about season 41 of the challenge coming up, because I have a lot of thoughts and I have a little bit of some confusion based on the comments that I got from when I did the cast reaction videos. Okay, a comment that I'm always getting, even not with this upcoming season, but like in general, is, and I see it on Reddit a lot too, is that like people are like, I want another fresh meat season. When are we gonna do another fresh meat season? And I am so many different shades of confused, because I feel like we've had so many fresh meat seasons, even though they're not called fresh meat, right? Season 39, I barely knew who a cast member was. That was all fresh meat to me. You know, this new season coming up, 41, Vets versus New Threats, I didn't know who half the cast was, because I don't watch a ton of reality TV outside of some MTV properties, primarily The Challenge. So like, they're all fresh meat to me, you know? Do you guys mean like random people who have not been on television shows, just like Cara Maria was never on like a show before the challenge, Brandon was never on a show before the challenge, Big Easy was never on a show before the challenge? Like, are you guys, is that what you guys mean? Because then I guess that kind of makes sense if that's what you guys want, because I just feel like, especially once they started bringing in people from Are You the One, let alone Big Brother, let alone from all around the world, all these shows that I've never heard of and I don't even think I can access, like it feels like the challenge has turned into a fresh meat show. So like the math doesn't math to me. And speaking of, look, you can call me an old fuddy-duddy if you want, but like I'm done with fresh meat. I love a lot of the people that came from actual fresh meat. I love a lot of the people that I kicked and screamed about because they were from other shows, and now I cannot imagine the challenge without them. And honestly, I'm sure a bunch of these new threats I'm gonna love too, because I'm a softie and I'll get over it. However, I was like a kid watching the first ever challenge with John Brennan and watching Sean Duffy fall in love with his wife, Rachel, and now he's got a powerful position and a really, whatever, we're not gonna go, times have changed, okay? And part of what made those early seasons and most of the season since then fun was that it was like when Urkel is on an episode of Full House. I got to see all these people from all these different seasons commingle and have new drama explode and watch new versions of people come out, and I loved it. I like familiarity. I'm kind of a stick in the mud. I don't always like new energy. I get over it, but I don't really like it. So I'm done with fresh meat. I think I'm alone in this, but you let me know. And somewhat for that reason, I'm not really looking forward to this season. I'm sure I'll watch, I'm sure I'll comment, but let me know your thoughts in the comments and follow for more. I am gagging at how good this comment is. Production needs to give some people a second chance from previous seasons. I thought Priscilla, Logan, Bettina, Johnny, and Gus deserved another season. If Bananas was never given a second season, we wouldn't. And the comment went on to say, like, his legacy wouldn't have happened, right? Basically. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this is why I am not excited for season 41. It's not just that I don't do well with, like, new energy, and it just takes me a while to adjust to new cast members because I'm a creature of habit and I like familiarity. It's not just that, it's that we've been through this a half a dozen times, all in probably era 4 for the most part. I mean, not that people weren't cast a second or third time that were deserving in the past, that was a thing for sure. But it got egregious with all these new people that they threw at us in era 4. And so now going into like era 5, I guess, season 41, I'm just like, I don't care. I just don't, I don't want to get attached to these people. We're never going to see them again, ever. MTV just needs to invest in a lot of the people we've already seen already. They probably were more interesting than the edit has given them credit for. They would have been more interesting had they been in a different house, gotten a second or third, because I think some people probably deserved a third chance too. It's just so off with your heads. That's why I can't keep track of these people, because they were only around for one season. I already have memory issues, you know? Thank you, Jasmine, because yes, this is one of the quietest parts out loud as to why the challenge is still fun, but could be so much better.